Hello everyone, welcome to the first episode of The Creative Process at the Black Firefly. It is a great time to be had. My name is Kabir Hanspal, and I just want to talk to you about a couple of things before the podcast starts. Firstly, I am so sorry for how long it took to get this out, because I announced this way back in August. It took me that long because I just did not have the time for it. I shot 2 podcasts at the time and I did not have the time to edit them. I was busy with some other engagement, and I will be busy with these engagements end of March 2019. However, till then, I will be uploading these 2 Every podcast is going to be broken down into parts which I've already done. I've uploaded them and scheduled their uploads for over the next couple of days. So the first podcast is the one that you're on right now. It is with the one and only, the Messiah, Poshak Dua. I am extremely happy with the way these 2 podcasts turned out, but up until March 2019, I will not be uploading anything at all, simply for the fact that I will not have the time required for it. This right here is a time investment. It takes a while to get these things done, and I will just not have the time required to do these things up until March 2019, which is around 6-7 months away. But up until then, I have already uploaded these 2 podcasts, so please enjoy those. The second one, some of you already know about this, but just for those who don't, I'm going to keep that a secret. One thing that I want to talk to you about is from end of March 2019, we will have regular uploads, we will have talking head stuff, we will have performances, we will have more podcasts, and a plethora of other things, simply because we've already got most of the stuff together. I put together a little team which is going to help me with. We will be professionally mic'd, we have a venue, we have a guest list, every single thing except the time to do it. And I don't want to jeopardize my other engagements because of this right now, so till March 2019, you won't really see that much of me, but that's okay. From then on, we will have so much of stuff to show you. We have so much of things planned. I'm too excited. The audio of these podcasts isn't as good as it could be, simply for the fact that this was shot over Skype. And as I said, from March 2019 onwards, we will actually be doing this face-to-face. We will have a bigger production overall. This podcast is not about methods, it's about creativity, never would have guessed, and the philosophy and the theatre of magic. It's about the theoretical side of performance and magic, essentially. It's going to be mainly intended towards magicians and mentalists, and if you're pretentious like me, the mystery artists out there, or even anyone who just wants to talk about creativity over here. Each podcast will be uploaded in parts. I will break each of them down, and I've already uploaded these 2 podcasts and scheduled them over the next couple of weeks. They'll just come out on their own. Did I have anything else to talk about? You will see these podcasts uploaded on my website as well as on YouTube in separate playlists. Without further ado, welcome to the first episode of The Creative Process. I am so happy to see you guys here, and let's get into it. Enjoy. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first episode of The Creative Process. You are here because you understand that magic is an art that needs to go beyond methodologies, beyond downloads, and talk about the philosophies of magic, the philosophical side and magic theory, and essentially what creativity is. Today we have with us our first special guest. His name is Poshak Dua. If you are in the Indian magic scene, you've definitely heard of him. He's been performing for a great number of years, and a lot of people won't know about this, but he actually gave me the first chance to open for someone's show. We'll touch on that later. Welcome, Poshak. Do you want to start introducing yourself?
Thank you for inviting me, Kabir. It's an honor to be talking to you and being the first guest at the Creative Process. And just before we start the conversation, I just want to say that a lot of the magicians are looking for the best new download, as you said, and we're all looking for secrets. So just before we start, I'll give all of them who don't have the time to maybe watch the entire thing for 2 hours, I'll give them the one secret that they need to become successful magicians. And that's something that David Blaine said recently, and that's something that I definitely believe in. Is it that the only thing that will make you better is to try and fail. That's the only thing. So there's no one way to succeed in magic. You just gotta try everything, be it your performance, be it your methods, be it your techniques, your style. Just try and fail, try and fail, try and fail. And if not the best thing, you'll find what suits you, which is, I think, what's important with any art form, be it magic or any other thing that you're doing. So if you try and fail, that is the best thing, and that's a biggest thing I have to say in this lecture. So if you don't have more time, you've watched 90% of the things that I wanted to say. So yeah,
That's great. I love that. That's a great outlook to have. So
thank you.
let's start off with just letting people know who you are. So, can you tell us about how and like when you first got into magic? Because it's not something more. It's not a normal hobby per se. Like it's not something you see a lot of people doing. Like I don't know about you, but like as far as I understand, I'm the only person possibly in the school that I go to who is actually into the mystery arts.
Yeah, it's a bit weird because for a long time I felt that I was the only one doing it in India. It's like I remember watching a lot of maybe it was India's Magic Star. There was a TV show that came on Star One. At
Yeah,
that time, I was probably in ninth or 10th.
I remember
And
that.
yeah, I remember watching that, and I remember watching a lot of magicians just around my colony, like a fair. Like sometimes I would go to these fairs. Sometimes I would go to these, you know, where they would perform this traditional sort of magic, mixing a little bit of modern techniques as well. But I thought generally I was the only one who knew about all these magic websites like Theory 11, Illusionist, and
Illusionist.
I felt like there was this entire world that I was watching that no one even knew about. And that changed when I was in ninth class. So before that, so I'll just go back a few years ago. When I started in magic, I don't personally remember when I started in magic. Like I've always been a magician, like as far as I remember. I remember performing a trick when I was in nursery. Like I must have seen a magician on TV do a coin trick on a handkerchief. Like a handkerchief was there and he placed a coin and then he secretly stole it and the coin vanished, something like that. And I was improvising and performing even back then. So I have a story that's kind of interesting. Um, I was in nursery and it was a Christian school. So in my school, we used to have these aprons while we were eating food. And so I had this apron and my food got over. So I was wondering if I could do a trick with it. And I suddenly remembered this coin trick that I had seen. So I took the apron and I borrowed an eraser from a friend of mine. And then I asked everyone in the class to just blow on this apron. And I went up to all 40 students. So the build up was immense. And at that time, I didn't know what I was doing. So I just went up to every student. And like after 10-15 minutes, and there was no teacher in the class at that time. So after 10-15 minutes, I showed that the eraser has disappeared. And that's what I vaguely remember now. Maybe some of the details I'm missing what exactly happened. But I remember I went that day home feeling awesome about me. Like as if I have this power, real power or something. And it's just stuck since then. And I never started taking it seriously. Like I still don't think I take it as seriously as I should, even though now this is the only thing I know. Like I've put myself all into this. If I don't do magic in life, I don't have anything else because I wanted to, like my parents and I myself wanted to become an engineer, but I decided not to because I felt that I won't be able to manage two things at a time, and if I was doing something, I might just do that one thing better rather than investing my energies into two different places. So now this is the only thing I have, and I should start taking it more seriously.
But you're doing great with it. Like for the past, I mean, I think I first heard about you around 2 years ago, or maybe a little plus or minus. But I remember I got to know about you, I think through your Instagram. Like that was the time when I started looking out and like trying to friend a lot of magicians. When I found out there's this whole massive world behind it. Like by this point I knew about it, but I didn't know that the Indian magic scene was actually not as bad as I'd been led to believe. And I found out about you, and I still remember the first thought that I had when I looked at you. And I don't know if you remember this, but back then, everything that you did was black and white, and you always had a deck of cards in your hand in all of your pictures. And I remember looking at you and thinking, oh, so he's like the Indian Daniel Madison or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's just me trying and failing and all those things. So I'm just here because I've experimented with a lot of things, and still I feel like I'm at a very beginning stage where I am still experimenting with basic things like what suits my style, what kind of trick suits my style, and it took me a lot of time to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was in ninth to 10th, I felt that I don't like using props at all. And the only things I liked carrying was a deck of cards and coins. And I felt that misdirection was the way to go. And at that time, I was inspired by James Brown. So everything, James Brown, the
Yes.
magician, not the singer.
Yes. Yes.
So at that time, everything that I did was based on misdirection. And I just felt that, if I could misdirect people, I could create miracles. So I don't have to use any props because I'm doing magic just with attention management, and Apollo Robbins was doing that at that time. Greg Wilson was a big inspiration to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then, after doing that for a long time, I realized, okay, there has to be something more because I can do this. What else should I do? And by that time, I was probably I finished my 12th and I was in college. And before going to college, I got this opportunity to work at a theme park, and
Yes.
that is where I first really started performing. At that time, I felt I knew everything about magic. When I went there, I realized how less I actually knew about magic. Like, I knew these five or six tricks, and I could entertain people for half an hour. And I thought I don't need to learn anything else. This is more than enough. Like after this, there's only just gimmick tricks and stuff like that. But then, I started realizing that there's more to magic. If I saw Yugesh Sarkar's show there, I met a lot of other magicians. So yeah, every time, every place that I've performed, it just changed my opinions. Came back from there, went to college. The first 2 years of college, I decided not to do magic, which is
Oh.
ironical because the reason that I came to college and a mass communication course was because I wanted to do magic.
Mm-hmm.
But then I decided I don't want to do magic for these 2 years because in my mind I felt like I'm going to do magic for the rest of my life. Like, I knew that for a fact that magic is going to be the only thing I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And David Blaine says this, that picture your life as a story. So everything you do, you should think that what is the story behind it. And I felt like if I keep doing magic when I am a successful magician or whether I'm not a successful magician by the age of 30, what I would miss is not enjoying my college life and not experimenting when I was in college. Because as soon as you get out of college, you have to earn money, and then obviously I would get a lot more, pressurized to just work on magic. So the first year of college, I just passed away chatting to people, talking to them, um, just the random college things you do. Just talk to girls, guys, because I was in a boys' school for 4 years. So that was one part missing from my life. And then the second year of college was me experimenting with theatre, interacting with a lot of theatre companies around the circuit of Delhi. And it was quite easy to, talk to them. They were very friendly. And I think everyone who's watching it should take something from this, that magic is not the only thing that you're going to do. So you should experiment with a lot of different things, whether it be theater, any other kind of performance that you like. I know Mehul, who might be watching this, he just opened his show with a guitar performance.
What?
Like, I couldn't watch it, and I was busy on that day for my own theater show that I'm working with a theater company. But he started his show with a guitar performance, and that's great because you're putting yourself out there, it's not just magic. So now that I'm in third year and the fear of unemployment is coming my way, I am working on my YouTube channel. As you might have seen, I've started uploading videos every week.
Yes, I've been.
My Instagram is growing every week. So now I'm getting a lot more commercial, which I feel again is, I don't know if that's good or bad, but again it's part of the experiments, just trying and failing at things. And I feel like something good will come out of the 50 videos that I plan to put out this year. At least one will be good that I can say, okay, I made this video. Like right now, all the videos I have on YouTube, I completely hate all of them. I don't like even one of them.
Yes.
But you have to put your content out there, whether you like it or not.
Completely.
It's part of
Like, that's literally what I've been doing. Like,
So I've been performing exclusively mentalism. When I perform, I usually tell people it's for 3.5, 4 years just to be taken more seriously. But if I have to be honest, I completely switched from magic to mentalism around 2 years ago. No, 2.5 years ago. And before that, I'd been doing magic for a couple of years, and I performed as much as I could. I tried to get as many opportunities to, like, anywhere, dinner parties, friends' place, as much as I could. And I noticed that, and I don't mean to sound like braggy about this, but I noticed that my close-ups started getting better and better, and I got to a point where I was actually proud of the performances I was pulling. My next thought was, okay, what's the next step? I should try to push content out, send people videos and all that. But the first thing that I immediately realized there was shooting is a completely different ballgame. The moment that camera is up, so many different things to think about. Not just working piano, which you can't do, but the person who's reacting with it. Like, I usually start performing a little bit before with the cameras out so that they warm up to the idea of performance. But then the moment the cameras were out, they become like, if you, I mean, I don't know if you've seen this, I'm pretty sure you haven't yet, but I uploaded a video a couple of days ago.
The name place routine, yeah. I saw that.
Yes, that guy, I've known
Yeah,
him for
yeah.
a while, and again, I hate all those videos, just like you said, I hate his
Yeah.
content right now. But I was performing to him a little bit before we brought the camera out. He was completely engaged, talking, moving forward. With the moment,
The camera starts.
and he's like in this submissive pose. He's sunk back into the sofa, and I've been trying to record for a while. I have a lot of footage I don't use, and I look at that. I'm like, wow, okay, I know absolutely nothing about this.
Yeah. So yeah, when it comes to YouTube, it's very weird because
Yeah,
again, I was reading this David Blaine's book, Mysterious Stranger, where he talks about how he took hours and hours of footage when he was shooting his first TV special, and you know edited it to the point where it was just a 1 hour special. So considering that you made just one video and you had to put that out, that's a lot of strain, because even the biggest magicians in the world film hours and hours of footage till they trim it down to 1 hour.
hmm
So again, it comes down to with YouTube just experimenting and failing a lot. The videos that I'm making, I'm trying to go clickbait, but without using fake reactions. So one of the
yes,
things that I hate is fake reactions, and I tried it, but I realized it. I have tried fake reactions in the past as well. If you go back my Instagram, there's one video where I'm doing that, but I realized that it's very unfulfilling as a magician. It just,
is it the
yeah,
video with the girl where you have the camera over there and you? I'm not sure which
it's
video
with a
it is.
girl. It's with four guys reacting to a pen vanish,
I think
and
I might have seen
and
that. I think I may
yeah.
have seen that.
and and it's very unfulfilling. It's very weird. It
Yes,
feels like a job. It doesn't feel like you're performing at all.
definitely.
So yeah, then it's very weird. And so what I've decided for my YouTube is that uh, you know like I was thinking about this, that when I was in 11th I gave a magic workshop, and at that time I used to only think about tricks because I was reading a lot, I was learning about magicians, and the one thing that fascinated me was more tricks, more tricks, more tricks, more tricks. And then I taught magic on that workshop, and I taught a few tricks. So it felt like I opened myself up.
hmm
And 4 years, it's been 4 years since I gave that workshop. And it's funny, but one of the guys who attended the workshop, Shikhar Kamath, is now a very well known mentalist in Mumbai. So at that time, he didn't know anything about magic. So you can imagine the amount of background that I have in magic. I've been doing it for the past 10, 15 years. And the so now I feel like after doing theater and after working with so many theater companies, I feel like I've started a new phase in my life where I'm now not at all focused about performing magic, as in doing tricks. I'm more focused about theater of magic, and YouTube videos is a part of me trying to put myself out there so that ultimately people can come